Greetings, my friends. Pastor Dan here from Fairport Christian Fellowship. Many of you know that last week I got a little bit of a surprise when I went in for a routine physical, had blood work done, and they discovered that I have acute myeloid leukemia. Um, and I just want to keep everybody updated as to my spiritual health as well as my physical health. And my physical health, my daughter has already established um, uh, a site through Caring Bridge that will update you on the physical part of this. But I think it's very, very important because my heart is for the church and my heart is for the people of this church. And so it's good that I communicate to them, to everyone here, whoever wants to know what my spiritual health is like. And so by that way, I can encourage people and keep everybody praying. I believe that the Lord has got me through this. I believe his timing with everything is been he's been on it. My Father in heaven has been all over this, and he continues to be. As far as my attitude and my heart, I say, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. He has blessed me over my life." And I don't have any complaints. And if he was to just say, "I'm taking you home," fine. It's all good. No complaints. I'm not kicking and screaming. Hey, paradise. What's wrong with that? But I don't have any complaints. I've He has blessed me, and so I start at that point and I bless His name. I say, Lord, I'm in Your hands, and my times are in His hands. That's what the Word of God says, and I believe that. He has shown it already through all the things that has happened in the past week. I know that he's in this, and so that's my attitude. And so I mentioned the Caring Bridge site that my daughter is going to update the physical things when I have appointments, doctors. As I progress through this, if anybody's interested, they can go to that site. I might mention to you that it feels kind of funny to say this, but there's also a GoFundMe account. My wife and I have come through cancer. We piled up some bills. I'm not all that concerned with it. I'm just paying them off. But if that's in your heart to do something, you need to go to the GoFundMe account. It's not the Caring Bridge, but you can go to GoFundMe through the Caring Bridge, if I got that right. But anyways, I hope to do this part of it. Throughout this whole process, I will be in church on Sunday as far as I can see, and I will be preaching. I'm looking forward to it. At this point in time, the doctor has said that we're going to go slow, and we have some time. They're keeping their eye on my blood. So, and we had a bone marrow test. We're waiting for the results of that. But I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Like I said, this feels a little funny doing this. It feels like I'm a little arrogant, like who cares? Well, I know that as being the shepherd, I'm not the chief shepherd, but I am the under shepherd, that the sheep or the flock, they can get a little skittish and they want to know what's going on. So I'm just using these means that I have to communicate with you. It is very important that I communicate with you. Now, first off, I want to tell you that I have no doubt, there's no doubt in my mind that if Jesus just says the word, I will be healed. I believe in that with all my heart. But I will tell you this, my spirit tells me over the past week that he is saying that I need to go through it. Sometimes the Lord allows you to go through things, and I'm going to share some scriptures. And I don't believe that it's just for me. I believe that it's for the family. It's for my wife. It's for the church family, especially. I believe that this is a time that we can all grow stronger through this, and we can see the work of the Lord, that we can see his hand in all of that. But like I said, my spirit bears witness that I need to go through this, and He is with me the whole way. My Father in heaven is overseeing everything, including doctors and blood tests and everything, every detail He is overseeing, every detail of my family, every detail, everything. So I believe that, I trust in that, and that's what this is all about, growing in our trust in the Lord. You know, you might say to me, well, is there any precedence in this in the Bible for God saying you got to go through this? Yeah, yeah. Apostle Paul, I believe it's in Acts 20, said that the Spirit testified that chains and tribulations awaited him. So, you know, good news, huh? You know, but that's what Paul said, and he grabbed onto it. He said, "Okay, all right, I got you, Lord." And he went to Jerusalem, and that's where what awaited him: chains and tribulations. But he has given me those verses. I want to give them to you. I want to. 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 6 and 7 says, "In this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by various trials, that the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ." So Peter writes that to us. You can see it says there's various trials, if need be, a little while, that we should greatly rejoice in them. And I am rejoicing. I have total confidence that God is in all of this. It's testing the sincerity or the genuineness of my faith, and I do trust Him. And I pray that as I go through this, my wife goes through it, that you would witness that and be edified and built up in your faith. Okay? Isaiah 43:2. God says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flame scorch you." So he says, hey, you know, sometimes you're delivered from the fire, and sometimes you're delivered in the fire. And so I believe that this is meant to glorify His name, not only to fellow church members here, but also to my family and also to doctors and nurses. I want God to get all the glory for anything that happens. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 9 and 10. Paul said this after he had said, you know, God has given me wisdom through many mysteries. He has shown me the mysteries, and I've been able to expound on them. But because He didn't want me to get proud and arrogant about that, He allowed there to be a thorn in the flesh. We're not exactly sure what that was for Paul. It might have been that he suffered from something in his eyes, and he prayed 3 times that he be delivered from it, but he was not. And sometimes God says no. And that's where we come to these verses, 2 Corinthians 12, 9 and 10. "And He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength," that's God's strength, "is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong." So there's some verses for you to hold on to. You see that? I believe wholeheartedly. I feel and I sense the grace of God upon me. And even as I don't feel weak. I feel very strong right now. The strength of the Lord, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I'm saying, let's go. But I know that that may be, as they treat me, that may wane a little bit. But He says, my grace is sufficient for you. His strength is made perfect or complete in my weakness. And Paul said, man, I'll take pleasure. I'm not sure if I'm okay with that right now, taking pleasure in this, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna. We'll just see. I believe and I pray that the Lord's um, presence be with me, my Father's presence overseeing everything about this whole situation, not just the physical aspect, the healing and things like that, but also, my household, this church, everything. He's overseeing every detail. I pray that you would sense that and know that and feel the confidence of the Lord. When I am weak, he is strong. We will depend upon his strength through all of this. If I could ask you to pray one thing, I do pray, and it's up to the Lord. It's totally in his hands. If I have to go through this, fine. But I pray that he would slow the process down, slow down the how fast this travels through my body. I ask you to pray that it slows down, that the Lord would slow it all down. And I have reasons for that. I want to be able to minister to the church. I want to be able to be at the baptism. I want to be able to invest in the young men that are coming to the church. I want to do those things. So if you would pray that he would just slow this down. And I thank you. I will try to give more of these updates. It will be called The Shepherd's Heart. God bless you. Have a great day.